Hey everyone, today is the official release of Payday 3, meaning that early access is over, and that means we're going to have a lot of new heisters getting their hands on the game. I thought this would be a good time to post a stealth guide video for anyone that wants to take a shot at stealth. It is, in my opinion, much harder to stealth heists in Payday 3 than it is in Payday 2, mainly because a lot of players are conditioned for stealth in Payday 2, and this is completely different, so I thought we'd talk about some of those differences and how to deal with them. I also just want to state that even though I've solo stealthed all the levels on overkill difficulty already, the game is only 3 days old, so a lot of these methods I show you could evolve over time based on how much of the community experiments with it and how much of the player base is going to just be going wild with stealth. It can definitely happen, so keep your eyes peeled in the comment section of this video for anyone leaving tips that I haven't covered here. I'm going to try to cover the most important ones though. The footage I'm playing right now was chosen by me specifically because I feel that it properly shows off what the player is now capable of when they employ the tricks and tips that I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you are a returning player from Payday 2 and you were a big stealth fan in Payday 2, the main difference here is just you're going to have to condition yourself for this game. It is not the same. You were conditioned to stay away from guards because of detection radius. If you got close to a guard in Payday 2, it didn't matter if they saw you or not, you were done. Stealth over, you have to drop the guy or you're going loud. Here, there is no detection radius. Now, the main threat is at mid to long range. You do not want guards looking at you from a distance. You can almost thrive in close quarters now because detection comes from line of sight.
Lead guard's gonna come down now.
Holy shit.
I don't know how you just managed that, but...
Alright, first things first, I'm going to get this out of the way. This video is going to be for everyone, older and newer players alike. If you want to see only the advanced stuff, because I am going to start covering the basics, I'll leave timestamps in the description below that will let you jump to those. We're going to talk about things like how to avoid detection, how to manipulate the guard's AI. Things like that will be later in the video, but for now we're just going to start off with the basics to get everyone on track. Alright, basics. Let's talk about those. So I guess the number one thing you need to keep in mind is what type of area you're in. So at the top of the screen you can see that I'm in a public area. There's three types of areas. There is public, private, and secure. Public is nice because it lets you just kind of have complete freedom to do whatever you want as long as you're not masked up and as long as it's not illegal. You can go around, you can hack cameras. If you're playing the hacker class, you can hack into the cameras on your phone and do a bunch of surveillance. You can stay in a lobby while your team goes in. You can get QR codes from phones. You can even carry duffel bags in public areas and nobody will question you. You are pretty much free to do whatever you want as long as it's not just like cutting a glass open and stealing jewelry, unless you have a skill that we'll talk about later. Private areas. As you can just see, I was in a private area to scan that phone. I got detected by a guard while I was doing that. The thing that's nice about private areas is as long as you're not masked up, keep in mind these areas are only important if you are not masked up. If you get detected in a private area, no need to worry. The guards will not arrest you. You will not be forced to go loud. They will simply escort you to a public area. You can do this indefinitely. As long as you're not caught doing anything illegal, if you're just, I guess, trespassing, if that's the only illegal thing you're doing, if you're trespassing in a private area, the only thing they will do is escort you off the premises and you'll just be able to re-enter again. They can do that as many times as you want. As you just saw, I'm in a private area, but that guard saw me steal the other guard's key card, which is an illegal action. So instead of escorting me out, he's just going to arrest me. It's very important that when you're about to steal or do any kind of illegal action that you make sure that underneath your interaction keybind, it does not say the word observed. If it says observed, that means that if you perform it, somebody will see it, and that person is more than likely going to be a guard that will arrest you. If a civilian, however, sees you do it, you'll have a little bit more leeway, but not too much more, because they will still call the guards and have them arrest you. Now let's talk about secured areas. These are areas that you are not tolerated in under any circumstance. If you are found in a secure area by a civilian, they will call the guards, you will be arrested. If you are seen by a guard, you will be arrested. If you are seen by a camera, the guards will be called and you will be arrested. If a guard is trying to arrest you and you walk away, he will draw his weapon and most likely shoot, sounding the alarm. If you plan on avoiding arrest, there is a skill that lets you uncuff yourself, we'll talk about later. If you do not have that, you will need to mask up and dispose of the guard. If not, you will just need to be arrested and wait for a co-op teammate to save you. If you try to call the AI to save you, you will start loud because they will start shooting anyone they see on their way to free you. The most important part of secure areas, for me anyways, is you are not allowed to sprint near guards. You will make noise and they will be attracted to it. You can walk, there will be no issue. The second you start sprinting though, you will make noise, and a guard will check out the last area that you made noise if you are close enough to them. Some heists, like under the surface and touch the sky, have the majority of their map as a secure area, so you need to really play it slow and mind when you sprint unless you want to grab a lot of attention. Now, you can also make a lot of noise by sliding into a door and opening it that way. It will emit a sound that covers a larger radius than just regular sprinting. Now, this also grabs the attention of multiple guards, and this can be used as a tool to aggro guards away from the position that they are to go check out the position where you made the sound, potentially opening up areas that you want to go. Alright, let's talk about gadgets. You're going to be using gadgets a lot if you're playing stealth. They are extremely useful. There's 4 gadgets, but we're only going to really be using 2 of them at this current state of the game, unless the other 2 get buffed dramatically. You're going to be talking about microcams and motion sensors. I'll show you microcams now. They're little cameras that you can place on any surface, including people. What I like to do for them, and why I think they're so important, is because you can place them on a lead guard, which is a guard that has an extremely long pathing route. Usually throughout the entire map is where they can walk. I've lost many runs due to a lead guard being in what I thought was somewhere that guards couldn't be. Having constant information on where he is and being able to access that information at any point from anywhere is vital to success in stealth. Alright, now let's talk about the motion sensor. This has probably the strongest functionality out of any gadget in the game. I don't even think you can argue it. It has such a strong ability. You can place it on any surface, including people like the lead guard as you just saw, and it will mark targets, both civilian and guards, in a radius around it, and it'll keep them constantly marked. Now, the reason I don't run this over microcams is because it has a lifespan. This will run out eventually, and I think that downside is a little too much for me to replace something that gives me constant information, even though that information is limited. I prefer having limited and reliable information rather than absurdly good information that I will lose after a certain amount of time. Obviously, this preference will vary from player to player, but both of these gadgets are really, really strong, and you will be able to choose which one you use when you load up into the game. Microcams will be available to you at level 1, and motion sensors will be available to you at a later level. Now let's talk about line of sight. This is a pretty self-explanatory one, but for those who aren't aware of it, it's going to be helpful. Line of sight works similar to Payday 2 for anyone who's played it, where detection only lies in the head. If a guard can see the entirety of your body, but can't see your face, they won't detect you. This goes for cameras as well. I'll show you right now. I'm now hiding behind this very tiny plant. But because I can't see the camera as it's detecting me, it won't see me either. Obviously, it can see my whole body, but because detection lies in the head, you're able to manipulate objects to your advantage if you can hide behind them. Not all objects will work this way though. Some of them will be flagged as transparent, so finding out what objects do and don't conceal you from line of sight is just part of learning the maps in my opinion, even if it's not that immersive. Next, I want to talk about the speed at which most people are going to be completing these heists. If you are new and have not mastered these maps yet, you are going to spend the majority of your time crouched. In Payday 2, these stealth missions I think are pretty easy compared to Payday 3 because of the speed at which you can do them. You can kind of just run like a madman everywhere. But if you're detected while standing up in this game, there's really no coming back from it unless you can get behind cover almost instantaneously. Like even there, I was sprinting. These guards saw me for a split second from a distance that I don't consider to be too close, and they caught me instantaneously. You're not going to be just sprinting through these missions like you were able to in Payday 2. You have to be able to kind of crouch through, take it a little bit slower than normal, and just be careful. Hey, now let's go over skills. Forgive me if the audio sounds a bit different. I'm just going to be recording myself in-game rather than doing a voiceover afterwards, just because it's easier to do this. So let's talk about skills. I'm not exactly going to be recommending a build right now. I have another video talking about what skills to choose when you're leveling, because it takes a while to level up in this game, but I'm just going to talk about skills that I like and why I like them. First off, Infiltrator. Very nice to have this aced, because if a guard starts to see you while you're picking a lock, it pairs very well with quick fingers, which lets you basically instantly pick the lock, get out of line of sight, and also get to where you want to be. Infiltrator at the basic infiltrator is also just great for when you're opening lockboxes inside of like No Rest for the Wicked, for example. When you're in the vault, you can get all of those little tiny lockboxes on the side opened so quickly if you have Infiltrator Basic. I even recommend this in some loud missions like Road Rage. You can open up all the boxes inside of the truck really quickly with Infiltrator and Quick Fingers. Next for stealth, I'm a big fan of Grifter. We will talk about Hacker, but I'm a big fan of Grifter. You get Rush whenever you go near a civilian. Rush gives you a movement speed buff, and it pairs well with other stuff like Quick Fingers as well. Walk the Walk and Social Engineering are also some of the most important comfort perks in this game. Walk the Walk makes it so that you cannot get detected while you have your mask off in private areas. Really, really strong. They will see you unlocking doors and stuff, so just watch out for that. But Social Engineering will make it so that employees and civilians will not see you do illegal actions. And this is what I was talking about earlier. So let's pretend we're doing Dirty Ice and you're in the main lobby. If you have a combination of, let's say, aced Infiltrator with Quick Fingers, and you're running Grifter with Social Engineering, you can basically cut through the glass or lockpick the little glass displays and do that all without really being detected by anything because of how quick it is. And because it's an illegal action, Social Engineering makes it so that employees will not notice that. Now, cameras and guards will, but there's only one guard in the opening area of Dirty Ice, so you can kind of just go around unlocking all of the jewelry display cases with these perks. Very convenient. That's just a scenario that these two work really well in. I felt it was important to explain that scenario. Now, Open Mic is great, Answer Radio is faster. Slippery is also great because if you're playing solo, you can pick yourself out of your own cuffs after you get arrested, making it so you don't have to kill anyone right off the bat. But now let's talk about Hacker. So yeah, Hacker, this is it's the strongest. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's just so strong. So we have Hacker 1. The basic allows you to hack cameras. Very strong. Acing this allows you to have 2 runtimes. That's the main reason it's so important. Runtime will allow you to put secure loop on a camera, which makes it friendly. It will not detect people. And then you can use another runtime to do routed ping, which means that the camera will detect guards for you. Very strong combination. But I think that the absolute strongest in here is Glitch Protocol. You have probably seen me use Glitch Protocol in other videos. It is just a get out of jail free card, and it lets you play your stealth missions fast and risky as long as you have a Glitch Protocol up. If you're unmasked and you're sprinting through a private area, if you get detected, you basically just get to say, nope, I'm not detected. You hack them, they de-aggro you, and you just go about your day. You can also stall escorts, so if they are escorting you out of a private area, and it's like a long walk back to a public area, you can just stall them by stepping out of the radius and making them warn you to follow them again until your Glitch Protocol is back up, hack them, and then get to where you need to be. Super strong, but I will say, if you use this, it could be a crutch. All right, I would not shape your playstyle around Hacker, just use it to aid yourself, because if you end up crutching this, you're going to end up getting more frustrated than not if you haven't actually learned how to play stealth in this game. Some honorable mentions for me are definitely Strategist, which allow you to mark more than one target, and they last 20% longer, so I mean those marks are great. And then just recently, CQC Specialist has been brought to my attention as really strong, not really because of this, but because of soft assets and pin puller that allow you to move faster while holding a human shield, which allows you to, move hostages from point A to point B quicker, decreasing the amount of time you're spent in the open with the possibility of getting detected by cameras and guards. That's kind of all I have to really say about these stealth skills. Those are the ones that catch my eye, and you're probably going to be looking for as a newer player. These will be changing in the future, most likely, when more people have it. Like, I only have 14 skill points. I'm going to have more. I don't even have enough for a full build yet. But those are some skills that I'm going to be looking out for. I recommend you do too. Alright, thank you for watching the video. That is it. Keep in mind though, please, that this is not an extensive or in-depth guide to stealth. This is just kind of a video covering the basics for people that are learning the ropes. Stealth is different in this game than Payday 2, so I'm sure veterans and new players to the series alike will benefit from what we talked about here. I would definitely keep an eye on future videos though from either me or the community, the other content creators in the space. Everything I've talked about can and most likely will be expanded upon. But yeah, that's it for the video. Everything we cover here, though, is enough to get you through Overkill solo stealth, if that is something you wish to pursue. This is what I used to get through it, so I know it's more than possible. Alright, that is it for the video. The game is now out. You can pick it up for yourself. I hope you guys really enjoy the stealth. That's mainly why I'm playing it, and I love it. If you do enjoy it, let me know down below. And you guys, have a good day. Peace.